Aquarius friends, welcome to my channel. It's just Jay with True Empathic Insights Tarot. This is your February 2017 Love and Romance Oracle card reading. This is the first time I've done a love reading since my channel began, so I hope it's received well. I hope it's helpful to you, and I hope that it provides the clarity that you seek. Now, for this particular monthly Oracle card reading, I'm pulling primarily from the Doreen Virtue Romance Angels Oracle card deck. They look like these. Obviously, my book is worn down because I do a lot of love readings. And then my clarifier card will actually be pulled from Tony Carmine Solano's Lovers Oracle card deck. I like this one a lot, actually. The Romance Angels Oracle card deck, I was drawn to it primarily around Valentine's Day last year. And so it just seemed so apropos to use it again this year, but use it for my channel, for my YouTube viewers. Also, with this reading, I'm going to try and relay it to those of you that are single, as well as those of you that are in relationships. But I want you to know right now, it's just whatever the universe is guiding me to share with you. So if it isn't necessarily applicable for you, that doesn't mean that your moon and or rising sign won't be. So by all means, be sure to check that out when it's all said and done. But don't want to talk your ear off, just want to get right to the point. So without further ado, your first card, my dear Aquarius friends, is worth waiting for. Now, this card can be applicable to those of you that are single, or for those of you that are in a relationship. But right off the top of my head, I feel that it's for those of you that are single that just, well, for those of you that just barely got out of a breakup. And when I say barely, I would say in the last 3 or 4 months. Some of you may have literally broke up with your partner during the month of December, but I feel like it was a little bit further back than that, but not as far back as like 2-3 years ago. Not that kind of a breakup. This was something that happened recently, and I feel very much so that it was with a person that was younger than you, either in body and or spirit. And usually when those types of relationships begin, as I've indicated in other readings, you know, they end just as fast as they began because they're whirlwind, they're passionate, they're fun, they're exciting, they're different. They kind of push you out of your comfort zone a little bit. They're not, you know, the slow and steady kind of rebuilding upon building upon building upon building. It's kind of like, bam, here I am, and this is hot, and it's fireworks, and it's just fantastic. And then when the fireworks die down, suddenly it's like, okay, but where's the substance? Now this is where I need that stability. This is where I need that slow and steady building of momentum to determine whether or not this is something that's worth pursuing or sticking with long term. And so for many of you, I feel that it's related to a recent breakup. And so because of that, you might be feeling like, is it worth it for me to even consider relationships in the future? Should I just give up on love altogether? Is this worth my time? And I would encourage you not to give up on love. Just because it didn't work out with that person doesn't mean that it won't work out with another person in the future. And even if that person doesn't work out, it doesn't mean that in the long run, you won't find your twin flame, that you won't find the person that you're meant to be with. Maybe, just maybe, you need to go through several relationships and several different types of situations within those relationships to grow and to realize and recognize what it is that really is perfect for you. And I truly believe that there's a perfect person for someone out there, for everyone out there. Sorry, my words are kind of jumbled. What I'm trying to say is I truly believe that everybody has their perfect person, right? That's why there's so many of us in the world. And this isn't gender bias. This isn't only applicable to heterosexual relationships. This can be in same-sex relationships. It just depends on what's your fancy. But there's someone out there that is meant for you, and you will know it. You will know it. It won't just be a lust feeling. It will be powerful, and you will know it in your soul. It will resonate through all of your chakras. It really will. So worth waiting for, to me, it says, my dear Aquarius friends, if you've gone through a recent breakup, you know, it's worth waiting for the right one to come. You learned something from that relationship, didn't you? You gained something from that. You grew, didn't you? Then in the long run, it was worth it. It was worth it for you to go through what you went through. But the card itself says, excuse me, divine timing is at work in your love life. I haven't had my coffee yet, so this is why. I'm going out for coffee. That's why I waited. Divine timing is at work in your love life. So what that means is that the universe is working through all of your relationships and working through all of these things in you internally, spiritually, to basically prepare you for that one person that you're meant to be with. Now, if you're with someone right now, my dear Aquarius friends, that you feel like is matching all of those points, is matching all of those things that you feel that make the ideal partner for you, then kudos and congratulations. But I really feel like right out the gate, for the majority of you, the reading or the feeling that I'm getting is that this is applicable to those of you that have gone through a recent breakup, and maybe at this point in time in the year, you're feeling a little bit down because, you know, romance is being projected in your face left and right. It's just like bam, bam, bam. And it's like, okay, getting sick of it. I would encourage you not to give up on love, because when it's all said and done, the one that's right for you, when they show up, you're going to recognize that they're completely worth the wait. They were completely worth the wait. This is not to say that you will necessarily meet them this month, although it's possible. And if you do, let us know. Tell us in the comment section below, because that's amazing, and I would love to hear that. But I feel like the general message from the universe is just know that it's coming. And don't give up on love. Don't give up on us. We're fighting for you. But there are certain things in your soul contract when you came here that you told us you wanted to learn. You told us you wanted to work on. So you're working through those things first. The next card I pulled for you, which I feel like is very apropos to the first card, is deception. So this tells me that the person that you were in a relationship with either greatly deceived you. You know, you thought they were one way, and it turns out they were another. Or perhaps you were the one ultimately wearing the mask in the relationship because you weren't really allowing yourself to be who you are at your core. And I get that. When you're in a relationship, everyone's trying to put their best foot forward. They're trying to be cute. They're trying to look good. They're trying to just be the ideal fantasy that their partner's looking for. When in actuality, what's wrong with just being who you are? What's wrong with just allowing this person to get to know you for the real person that you are? Are you afraid you're going to turn them off? Are you afraid that you're going to run them away? Well, if you do, then that's not the one that was for you, are they? And I know, I get it. A lot of us will put on that facade because we get lonely. And we'd rather have someone there versus not. But this is where that whole concept and idea of faith in the universe comes into play. You have to have faith in the universe. You have to know the right one is going to come to you. So if you meet someone and you feel like automatically you should just completely hide yourself and not allow yourself to be at least partially seen or partially vulnerable. I mean, I know in sex there's some vulnerability because you're naked, but I mean spiritually and emotionally vulnerable with that person, you know? You don't have to necessarily on the first date tell everyone what's going on in your life right out the gate. I mean, but allowing the layers, allowing yourself to shed those layers. And maybe that's what happened in the most recent relationship, is that when you started to shed those layers and that other person started to shed those layers after the honeymoon phase ended, excuse me, maybe that's when you realize this isn't working out. And maybe that was the lesson to be learned, Aquarius. Maybe you needed to realize that when it's all said and done, even though passion and short-term pleasure is great, because it can be, I'm all for it, right? Like, we're human beings. We should enjoy this third dimensional plane when we can. I mean, all within reason. You want to be safe. You want to be careful out there, but I don't think it's just meant to be all work and no play. I don't think it's just meant to be all struggle and strife and hardship and misery and no love and happiness and joy. I don't think that for a second. I think with the dark, you can appreciate the light, right? So perhaps during this relationship, you felt as though, or you recognized that there was some deception going on, and that either one or the other, so either you or your partner or both of you, were sort of wearing these false masks and not really allowing yourselves to be who you are. And, you know, your partner may really be into video games and you're not, you know, and maybe your partner's really into Hinduism and you're not, you know, things like that maybe didn't really come up in conversation, and maybe things of that nature that you realize, you know, those are kind of deal breakers for me. That's not really something that I'm cool with. Maybe I'm not religious at all, and I don't really want that kind of being pushed in my face. Or maybe I'm more of a free spirit, but because you're so put together and you seem to be very ambitious and very passionate about what it is that you want and where you're going, I'm putting on this false self mask that I'm equally as ambitious as you, when in actuality, I like to go with the flow. I mean, it could be a variety of things, Aquarius. It could be a variety of things. And so in that regard, the lesson to be learned is that, you know, you're better off just being true to yourself and recognizing who you are and honoring your own truth, right? But the card itself says someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. Okay. Final card I pulled for you, my dear Aquarius friends, is free yourself. So when I see this card, that tells me, in relation to the other cards anyway, that when you freed yourself from that relationship, while it was difficult and while it was heartbreaking and burdensome, whether they decided to walk away or you did, there was a moment of freedom. Even in the heartbreak, there was a moment of freedom. Because then you realized there were no more expectations, no more false sense of idealism. It was just you again, who you are, your core. You were just left with you. And on some level, while that's kind of sad and kind of heartbreaking, on some level that was encouraging and uplifting for you, because you felt like, I can breathe. I can breathe. I can just do me now. I can just do the things that I like. I can just focus on the things that I like. Yes, it's hard not having someone calling me all the time or texting me or in my bed. You know, yes, it's hard not having someone to look forward to spending the weekend with or date night with or what have you. But I'm also not bound to this person. I don't have to explain myself to this person. I don't have to live up to some kind of strange ideal that I'm not, and neither do they. Now I'm free to do and make the choices that I want to do that are best for me. And I'm free to be who I am. Because you know how when you're in a relationship and the relationship first begins, it's very exciting and it's very passionate, but you and your partner want to spend all of your time together, and as a result, because you're spending so much time with this person, you tend to neglect yourself. And it happens. You know, you're so excited about the relationship that most people, whether or not they intend to be, become very codependent. They become super codependent on their partner. And they kind of have a tendency to forget the things that they had acquired or that they had built up, the life that they had built up for themselves before the relationship began. And you do. Things get real hazy, especially when the sex is amazing, especially when the romance is just so exciting and exhilarating. It's very easy to just, my world is about this person now. And as soon as they call, I answer. And as soon as this, and as soon as I'm just so excited about this other human being in my life, which is great. But love never claims. It just doesn't. It doesn't bind you. Rather, it allows you to be. It allows you to be exactly who you are. If you were a person that really enjoyed going to the gym on a regular basis, and you liked taking yourself to the movies, or you liked doing things like, I don't know, spa days or whatnot, and now those things are neglected because you're trying to be there for this new person and spending as much time with this person to try and cultivate a relationship because you were lonely and you're not alone anymore. There was a sense of loneliness and now you're not alone anymore. Excuse me. That in itself can, after a while, backfire, because then it's like, you know, your friends are like, hey, we used to do this every Thursday night and now I don't see you anymore. And I get it. You're in a relationship. How's that going, by the way? But, you know, we miss you. We want to see you. Like, what's that about? You know, a relationship should never make you feel like you're bound to that person, but it should allow you to feel, it should be more of an extension, not a completion. Does that make sense? So, when the relationship ended, even though it was heartbreaking and you may have felt like you devoted a lot of time and energy and effort and maybe even money to the relationship, Aquarius, it could very well have been that too, which is very upsetting. Give me my money back. I mean, I want my money back. Fuck. Right? I get it. I totally get it. When it's all said and done, when that person's no longer in your life and there's that moment of true separation, in a sense, it can feel freeing. Because while you might have been reminiscing about all the good times in the past, there's a reason why you didn't work out. And I feel like the universe is saying to you, I really want you to take stock of this. I really want you to realize the lesson you were meant to learn in this. You were never meant to lose yourself in that person. You're meant to enjoy that person, but you were never meant to lose yourself in that person. And you should stop doing that if you've been doing that in other relationships too. Because if you didn't learn the lesson the first time, Aquarius, the universe has this beautiful way of amplifying it and making it even bigger for you in the future. So I just would advise you to learn it now. Learn it now. And realize that while this is the month of love, even though every month should be about love, let's keep it real. You don't have to let that keep you down. You can take care of you. You can go do the things that make you feel whole as a person. Whatever it is that nurtures you, your mind, your body, and your spirit. You can do things that nurture you. You can make love to yourself. You can do things for you. Take yourself out to dinner if you don't feel comfortable eating out in front of people. I get it. Some people are really shy. Get yourself some takeout. Light some candles, put some rose petals on the bed, and enjoy your own romantic evening in. Okay. Free yourself. It's so beautiful because this unicorn, it's like he's in this little cage, but it's not really a cage because at any moment he could just jump over it. It's like he thinks he's bound, but he's not. He could jump over this at any point in time, go off into the forest and live his life and have fun. And you can do the same. So this month, Aquarius, I want you to just have a good time. Have a good time. Enjoy you. And for those of you that are in a relationship, I'm going to try and make this applicable to you. If you're in a relationship right now and you feel like there's a little bit of a deception going on, if there really is some type of and you'll know it. You know, the universe has this lovely little way of like sending you signals that let you know, hey, you might want to be cautious of this. I think it's important at that point that the doors of communication are open, and that you acknowledge and that you say, you know, hey, I really, I care about you. I care about this relationship. I want to make this work, but I need to know that we're being truly honest with each other. If your partner gives you any pushback, then you know what to do, Aquarius. Because the real one is worth waiting for. If they don't give you any pushback, awesome. It's time to take back control of your life. Okay, so clarifier card, because your reading is getting close to 20 minutes. You're already kind of, it's tricky, because even though I like these hearts, shuffling them is a little bit tricky. And this one actually just popped right out. So here, maybe this is the one that you needed. This beautiful male angel. Very pretty face. Don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it is only in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. Wow. Wow. Okay, universe. There you have it, Aquarius. I hope this helped you. By all means, let me know how things are going in the description box or in the comment section below. If you would like a personal reading, my information will be in the description box and conveniently at the end of this video until my website is up and running. Also, again, check your moon at a rising sign, see how that's syncing up for you. And love yourself, Aquarius. Love yourself. Be your #1 star player, okay?